Yes, sir. We are back with another banger coming live to you with the first annual NFL 1.0 mock draft. You got your favorite WTP Sports Dudes here. What's up with y'all, fellas? How y'all doing today?
I can't complain. Ain't nobody gonna listen to me.
Beautiful day. He woke us up again. It's on and popping.
For sure.
Yes,
What's up,
sir.
Moss B?
Man, feeling pretty good, man. Appreciate everyone. Just looking at the screen, man, just fills the heart, man. And like T1 said and Parlay Pro said, man, love what they saying, and we just gonna pass it on over to the man that put us all together as well. WTP Sports Dudes, how you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. I'm sitting here with four of my favorite people in the whole entire world on the whole entire planet. Let's
Dude,
go.
Let's do what it do.
Hey, before we hop into this live, man, go ahead and get a quick word from the partner.
Man, listen, we gotta give a shout out to K&T's Good Eats LLC, great catering company, ran by our man Kevin Bird and his wife Tammy. Listen, if you ever need any catering needs, look them up on Instagram at Kevin J Bird. That's BYRD. I'm telling you right now, when you check out some of those pictures on his Instagram, their food is fire. And I'm telling
black.
you now, order those egg rolls with the bang bang sauce. You will not go wrong. Trust me. Also, we got his sister who owns Social Nutrition Sips and Conversation right there on South Hamilton Road at 3136 South Hamilton Road. I'm telling you now, that brownie batter is banging and that peach energy tea is banging. Those are my two favorites. Check her out. And also our young man, the Chief. He got his own apparel line called the Chief. 5991. Check him out on Instagram and on TikTok. That's the Chief DECHIEF dot 5991. Check him out. Great apparel line.
All right, before we get into going down these picks, man, I want to ask y'all a quick question, man. Who are some of the guys that y'all feel is going to be day 2 and day 3 steals, sleeper picks, somebody that can come in day 1 and put their mark out?
Mm.
Day day two picked. I like the little dude from Miami playing receiver. What's his name? Xavier. I
Uh,
don't know how to pronounce it.
Restrepo?
Yeah, I like him as a day two pick for somebody, especially when he playing that slot. I like him.
Yeah, whoever get Cam, I think they need to draft him for sure.
You
Um,
say that wide receiver need to go wherever Cam go. Keep them
Yeah.
together.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
Mine is my QB, Will Howard. I don't think he's too far off from the top 2 and 3 quarterbacks in this draft. And I think he actually proven to be probably one of the best game managers in this draft. So I'm looking for him to creep up that board.
for me, I'm looking at Tyler Shaw. For some reason, out of Louisville, I have my likes out of Seth Hennigan, but I'm looking at this Tyler Shaw kid. Very accurate. And when you're looking at a system QB, I think he fits a lot of what teams need, especially for his size and that athleticism he has, which he have. I think that some quarterbacks don't have that we've seen just in the last year. So I think he's a sleeper pick, just my opinion. Maybe another running back as well.
Yeah, I got two guys. One is your boy Moss, Joshua Farmer out of the Florida State University. I
Mm,
mean, humongous human. You know what I mean?
yeah.
He like 6'3", through 320. He real agile, light on his feet. I could see him making a lot of noise, and also Trevor Etienne out of Georgia. I think he gonna make somebody better day one.
Kind of give me that Bucky Irvin type of thinking. How Bucky came in and did what he did. So
That's a good comp. I like that comp.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
All right, man. Let's go ahead. Oh no, No, you got any day two, day three sleepers?
Big Cam Williams, right tackle, Texas Longhorns. I'm telling you right now, he's a mauler.
I knew you was gonna be a homer with that.
But you think he a sleeper?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
You think they know about Big Cam?
he's not really high on many boards, which is crazy.
Yeah, they know about him, but he ain't high on nobody's boards. He only got 1 year starting experience, but he's a mauler.
He's a
He's
mauler.
gonna be a steal at that right tackle position. Steal.
All right, hey, with our first pick, Parlay Poe, Tennessee Titans, you are officially on the clock. Hey, listen.
Ooh, ooh.
Hey, no, he might set you up with a punter, man.
Find out. We need a time, man. You know we ain't trading, Poe. You can't get that Ricky Williams trade, man.
Man, I was trying to do that or trade my first round and Will Levitt for Burrow.
You know,
There we go. We needed the sound. We needed the sound. I like that right there. We moving and we grooving.
yes, sir.
Y'all know what that mean? That mean the pick is in.
Pick
The
is
pick
in.
is in. So with the number one pick in the 2024 25 WTP Sports Mock Draft, Parlay Poe, he's rolling with Cam Ward to the
Ooh,
Tennessee Titans. Go ahead and
man.
speak about why you chose that pick, Poe, and what was the thought process behind it.
Well, as far as them Tennessee needing a quarterback, but it really ain't no truly like mind blowing quarterbacks like that, you know. So I think Cam is like probably the only pro ready that can start like tomorrow. So that's why I made the pick.
Highlights is, oh my gosh.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
Yeah,
Ain't
how you feel about
yeah,
that? No, I know that's your squad. How you feel about? Oh, how you feel about it, T1? That first pick, is that the way
It's
you would have went?
that's the way it's going. I believe everybody has uh Cam going to Tennessee with that number one overall pick. I'm not looking for any surprises right there. So I think we had an easy one right there. I think the second one is going to be a little harder than that first pick right there.
yeah.
You know, I
I
feel like
agree.
the Titans going to have to shore up that. They did some moves in the offseason to shore up that offensive line, but they're probably going to have to get another piece on that line and then get him a receiver or a good solid tight end to really make him a solid pick. I kind of wanted them to trade this pick as opposed to Jonathan Mingo, but that didn't happen.
Uh-oh, my bad. Yeah, that was an easy peasy one right there for sure. Um, now, who next up? We got next up. No, no, hold up. Who next up? Who got number two pick?
I think I might have had number two.
yeah.
T1. Yeah, you on the clock with your
I'm on
Browns.
the spot
You are
with
on
the
the clock.
Browns.
We already in. I'm gonna try to put it in the chat and see if it worked. I kicked myself out last time.
Just put it in a, yeah, put it in a private chat. Should be good.
Okay, it's everybody in the studio. So
Now the Browns. What's the Browns team needs? What all they need out there? Quarterback. I think they can use an offensive lineman, a receiver. Um, it's
Later
it, yeah, it's,
round, later round linebacker. Both of their
every
linebackers got hurt for the year.
everything.
Yeah, they could use a kitchen sink with a linebacker,
A
like a left
coach.
hand coach. Yeah.
he said a coach.
Mm,
Ooh, that's rough. Pick
man,
is in.
big
Pick is
pick.
in.
Ah, whew.
And with the second pick, the Cleveland Browns is selecting Travis Hunter.
Ooh,
Gotta go
Now,
get.
I feel like Trav is the best player on the board, so Cleveland is definitely getting them one. Go ahead and talk about your thought process behind that, T1.
I mean, as bad as Cleveland needs a quarterback, the franchise has not had the best of luck with quarterbacks going into that in that first round. So I think Cleveland as an organization may be a little scared to pull the trigger on that number two pick and take Shador. Personally, I will take it. I believe Cleveland's scared to take that pick, so you take the best player in the draft, which is Travis Hunter, and you get something on the offensive and defensive side. So I just feel like he's a no miss. He's definitely that generational player that every team would love to have. I look for Cleveland to use him on both sides of the ball. He's a dynamic receiver, great hands, catches in traffic, can catch the ball at a high point, and as a cover corner, he has some of the best highlights that you'll see from a cornerback in a very, very long time with what he did last year. Some of those interceptions that he got last year, he looked like a wide receiver on most of those plays. So, I mean, you just have a great player on both sides of the field. I'm just looking forward to see how the Cleveland Browns, if they are to choose him, how they move forward with using him on both sides of that ball.
I agree, man. That's a great pick.
Now,
I
let
mean,
me ask you this too, though. Do you do y'all guys think he's playing both ways in Cleveland? Do you think they're going to allow him to do that?
He has to play both ways wherever he goes. I mean, that's who he is. That's who he is. I don't think he has all of his superpowers if he's not on both sides of the ball. I don't believe that. All right, you just focus in on that cornerback position. He's too good of a wide receiver. I don't care if he's your wide receiver three. I mean, he's too good of a wide receiver. His hands are great. He knows how to track that ball down. I mean, you have to.
I think they're gonna use him as wide receiver because um, they got their best wide receiver is Jerry Judy, and so with him coming in, with that, a dude had a nice little year. What's his name? Mitchell. He played decent, so I think they're gonna use him as wide receiver, and he gonna play some corner. But they got solid cornerbacks though already. Cleveland got solid cornerbacks, man.
Yeah. And if you can slide him up in there, that has whether it be on the inside or the outside. I mean, shoot, you're looking at a great defense over there in Cleveland.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Now, Rob, your timer ran out. I hope you were putting your pick in for the New York Giants. The Giants was on the clock.
Ooh. Ooh,
Oh,
ooh, 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 ooh. Wow.
that means the pick is in. And at number 3, the New York Giants and Rob, he selects Shador Sanders.
For
So let's talk about Shador for the Giants.
the Giants, Sanders.
Yeah, let's talk about Shador. Um, it's a lot of noise that he's going to fall in this draft. Rob went ahead and took him off the board early. How do y'all feel about that pick? You think he could change the Giants' luck around?
Well, he's not going to be a day one starter. They already have Russ, so he's going to sit behind Russ no matter what. So if he got a chance to learn, if Russ a good teacher, you know what I mean, then he probably get in the middle of the season though, but he ain't gonna be the day one starter.
I like that. I like that plan for him.
I
Sit and
think
learn.
so. Yeah. I feel the same way, and I think this would give him, and I think in the recent months hearing things about how him and Malik Neighbors may not be on the same page, with all the stuff that was going on at that time. I think this would give him time to, be himself, work on those things as a quarterback and see in fast time and real speed in the NFL and be able to dissect things. And like we all know, quarterbacks that had that 25 start, the effect they can have on a game. And we talking about another, Sanders. You know, we know what they bring to the table, pure talent. His dad was a Hall of Famer, and we still talk about him to this day. He's done it not at Colorado, but at Jackson State as well. So I definitely feel, New York could be in great hands, and I feel like Parlay Post said it gets some burn halfway through the season, if not earlier, because we can't expect Russell to stay healthy.
Yeah. Now, Moss, you on the clock. You got back to back picks with New
Oh,
England and Jacksonville Jaguars. So go ahead, look at your board. You got 30 seconds to get your pick in.
yes,
Poe, how
sir.
you feel about the Shador? You think Shador going? You said you think he's going to start in the middle of the season, but do you think he's going to be able to change the fortune of the Giants when they do decide to insert him into the lineup?
Yeah, because they're gonna have to need some pieces. They still need a another wide receiver. You know what I mean, and possibly help on that defense because he can't be out there all day. You know what I mean? Like the defense can't stop nothing. He gonna be trying to, you know what I mean, trying to do too much.
Yeah.
Mossberg pick is in at number 4 with the fourth pick of the draft, the mock draft. New England Moss selects Will Campbell out of LSU. Um, some help for Drake May over there, protect his blind side. What was your thought process about picking Will Campbell, Moss?
This was it was a actual kind of a it was a tough pick. I was honestly looking at him and Kelvin Banks. Him being a 3-year starter, to put up the amount of starts he have and his statistical, you know, overhaul. When you talk about big games, he's held his own in the biggest games for LSU over over that 3-year tenure and big starts. And when we talking about New England, you get someone that protects Drake May, the future and franchise you see. And when you get someone that can protect your quarterback, that definitely can make a big factor. And as we see, look at the holes that he opens up. That, for example, if you put Drake May, in position as we see to be able to let himself just be that quarterback, and we know the athleticism and the ability to spin that thing, as Parlay Post say, I think that could take their offense to another level. And the wide receivers that we have in this draft, they can definitely get a nice receiver to go with Drake May in these later rounds as well. So that was just my big thing. He could play any position on that, but I know for sure he'll definitely be that protection and that blanket for Drake May.
Hey, Poe. So let me ask you this about Will Campbell. Do you think the short arm thing is a real big deal when you're dealing with these offensive linemen? You know, they saying that he got real short arms. They like to
Yeah.
be over 33 inches. He's somewhere I think in 32 or something. So do you think that's going to affect him at the next level?
No, I don't think it's gonna affect him. I don't know why they always talking about the short arm. But thing about Will Campbell, he don't give up sacks though. You know what I mean? That's the key thing. He don't give up sacks. He went 24 consecutive games without giving up a sack. So you know what I mean? That shows something right there. You know what I mean? Will, this is a good pick for them. This is a good pick for them. Help Drake May, like you said. It's a good
Man,
pick.
this is tough. This is so tough. This is
And it's a
oh
player that can play that tackle position for about 7, 8 years, and then you could kick him in the guard for his final 3 or 4 years. So I mean, that's a good pick for them.
I think I'm gonna shock a lot of people with this next pick.
All right.
No,
It's
that
going
ain't shocking. That ain't shocking.
He like, nah, that ain't shocked me.
that ain't nobody. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, the fifth pick in the draft belongs to Moss B again with the Jags, and he selects Mason Graham, defensive tackle out of Michigan University. Go ahead, talk about that, Moss. How you feel? What your thought process was, um, and why you thought it would be a shock to pick him at that point.
A lot of the reason I say shock, a lot of people really got Abdul Carter, at the top of the board going over Mason Graham. For me, um, Mason Graham is a monster. I've really watched this guy from sophomore year up until now. Um, just the way he's athletic, and when you people forget he played with Hutchinson, and when you have someone with that type of leadership that you play with, and to be able to bring that after he leaves, and we see what Hutchinson is doing in the NFL, we could see Mason Graham doing the same thing. He stuffs any and everything. He's agile, quick on his feet, and he has a motor. And he's very well at just reading the defense. He could, he stunts well. I mean, just you could just look at the product. I mean, it speaks for itself. We talked about him a lot throughout the season, and I don't know. For me, it's a close call between him and Abdul Carter for some, but I like Mason Graham. My Bengals, we've chose a few Michigan players, and they've played very well on the tackle position and the DB. So I definitely like Mason Graham for Jacksonville.
Yeah, I like that pick too, man. I think on my board, he is the third best player in this draft easily. So to get him at 5 is a steal in itself. If he drops to the Jags right there and he's still available, they have to take him. They have to.
Yeah.
Poe, that's your boy, man. Speak on your guy.
Hey, the tape say a lot. That tape do not lie, man. He's stout in that middle and he's a workhorse. You know what I mean? Somebody got to steal with him going there fifth. He's gonna be a great player. Playing in the sun too. Yeah, he gonna love that.
You will love it. It's right up his alley.
Yes, sir. And look, brother T1, how you feel about that pick?
Hey,
Mason
great
Graham
pick.
with the Jags.
Great pick. Great pick. Great pick. And it's a lot. I mean, Carter's still on the board. Graham over Carter, that's huge.
Yes, sir. Well,
That
Rob
would
is on the
that would
board.
be huge right there.
No, who on the board? Oh, T1, you on the board, right?
All right, who I got? Who I
That was
got?
me.
The
Nah, Rob's
Raiders.
on the board.
That was me.
Oh, that's
Rob.
you?
GP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. T1
Yeah,
next.
I didn't write it down. Some of y'all.
Oh, I got my paper wrong. All right, so Rob, with the 6th pick, Las Vegas Raiders, he selects Abdul Carter. T1, you were just saying he was still on the board. Um, Now he gone. High value right there. This guy was in the conversation for the number 1 pick as well. So if he drops to the sixth pick, I think the Raiders will be ecstatic. Rob, talk about how you feel, what your process was. Were you selecting best available, or what was you thinking?
I mean, it was best available all day long. If this guy slides to me at 6, you think I'm not taking him?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
looking at on my big board. I had Ted McMillan, wide receiver. But hey, man, you got Abdul Carter dropping to you at 6.
Yeah.
I'm picking him all day, bro.
T1, how you feel about that pick?
Man, I mean, they actually would be in paradise if Carter were to slip down that low. They would be jumping for joy. That would be amazing. That'd be amazing for Carter to go to the Raiders and go down that low first round. And he'd probably be pissed off a little bit too. So great, that would be a great pick.
That would definitely put a chip on his shoulder, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I just think about the Raiders when they got Khalil Mack. That just made me think of when they got Khalil Mack to start his career, how much of a difference he made their defense. So that could be a great fit for the Raiders if we think about it as well. That boy's a monster. Still like me some Mason though.
Hey, do I got my picks wrong? Who got the 7th pick?
T1 on the clock.
I think I'm next.
Poe,
Yeah, T on the
I'm,
clock.
I
T1.
think I'm always after Rob. I think
Yeah,
right? Yeah. So I got the Jets.
Yep.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I messed up on my. Yeah, y'all gotta update me because I think I got something wrong on my board right here.
No, you good.
yeah. The Jets.
Yeah, but as far as Abdul Carter go, I think he is the second most biggest game record in the draft. Mason Graham is first. He is the next one. Like they can wreck games by themselves, literally. We got the pick in.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh,
He
Oh.
didn't put some game. He didn't threw some salt in an NFL bag. Ooh,
that's what I like, T1.
oh yeah. Ooh,
At number 7, T1 was on the clock with the New York Jets,
mm,
and he's selecting Emeka Ibuka out of the Ohio State University. T1, that might be the first surprising pick of the draft. Go ahead and tell me your thought process behind that and why you think the Jets take Emeka Ibuka with that 7th pick.
Hey, we started to take McMillan out of Arizona. We started to take the big receiver out of Arizona, but then we stacked him up against Emeka, and it just wasn't. The only difference was the height, and outside of that, just the production and the products that are coming out of Ohio State at this wide receiver position. And he has always been one of those top receivers in that receiving room for Ohio State, even when they had the Harrisons there. And right now with Jeremiah, he still has been one of those top receivers that everybody holds in high regards, and they feel like he's going to produce in the same way that the previous receivers have came into the NFL and produced. And what better way to do it than to help out another former Buckeye with Justin? And it's time to get that offense ready because the defense is solid, and the defense we just keep plugging in on the defensive end over there in New York and get that offense to where they can score points. They're on to something there in the Big Apple.
yeah, that's a major steal. That's big. I looked at the same thing. Buckeyes getting together in a Big Apple, bright lights. That's they ready. It's like they built themselves for the Battle of New York. Over there against the G-men. So wow, I think that's the biggest draft steal as far. I mean, draft surprise pick. That definitely surprised me, but I like that pick with them Buckeyes getting together
Yeah. Yeah.
for
Hey,
sure.
and it may be something else big coming in the second round from this Jet team if
Yeah.
they do pick a receiver like Ibuka.
It sounds like they might be on some BS.
Better season. You disagree with that pick,
Okay, well,
Robert?
I'm on the clock. I'm
I
on the
yeah.
don't,
clock
I
right
don't
now at
disagree with
Carolina.
I don't disagree with
Hey, y'all
getting
can
him
go
as
ahead and
a
talk. I'm
player because
studying my board.
he's a heck of a football player, but I think that might be a little bit too early. You could have probably got more value out of him at a later pick. But I mean, he's still going to be a solid wide receiver for whoever get him. He's 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 a good receiver, bro, for sure. I
Yeah,
wouldn't have picked him that soon.
that's too high for him. That's a homer pick. That's way too high.
Definitely.
I mean, is it really too high though? Because this is the
Yeah,
way I see it. Out of all the receivers in the draft, he is the most consistent one throughout his college career. He has the most production out of all of them. So I mean, you could say he a reach, but it's very possible he could turn out to be the best receiver in this draft. Very possible.
he's little, man. They got
You
little
say so?
receivers.
You
He's
seen what
not little.
Jackson Smith Jigba did though in Seattle. You seen what he did.
That's not a little receiver.
He is
That's
still.
not huge, but he's
What's that?
a
Man,
great size.
with the eighth pick, we have FanDuel Zay. And what is your pick? The pick is in.
Yeah, at number 8, um, Carolina, they had like the lowest QB pressure rate in the NFL. Um, and it was like historically like the worst defense ever. So I think they take Jalen Walker off the board right here.
Mhm.
Um, DN out of Georgia. He fits that 3-4 scheme that they run very well. Um, so I don't see them going no other way right here. They got to take one of these high level DNs, or even maybe even a cornerback if a DN is not right there. I could see them selecting like a Will Johnson right here if them other guys are gone. But if Jalen Walker is on that board, I definitely see them selecting him.
That's,
Yeah,
I'm,
that's he can ball, man. Dude can flat out ball. So that's if he gonna end up being the leader of that defense. That's a great pick for them because dude can flat out ball. I
Yeah,
like I like this pick.
and I think that matches him up over there with, I believe, my boy out of FSU, Josh Sweat, if I'm not mistaken. Um, I think that's a young nucleus that could do some things. You know, when you think about some of the players that's played for a few years and then getting with some of these talented young players, I think, the mesh can be inevitable. Just knowing who they bringing in and the type of player they have, to help them out. And we talk about, the defensive end, some teams having two pass rushers. This could be a young team, and the Panthers, they're building up for something because they just got their secondary together. So they could be on to something. Offensively, they still have picks. So they can make some moves and be a team to watch in this coming 25 season as well.
My concern was is there do they run a 3-4 scheme or do they run a different scheme? Because is he big enough to play actual defensive end uh, every down? Is he big enough to do that? I know he's a solid guy coming off of a 3-4, but can he do it in a 4-2? That'll be my only concern. Is he big enough to do that? But that's still a good pick because he's highly talented and he tore my Longhorns up. So I see why he's that high.
Yeah, they run a 3-4 scheme though, so I think he'll be all right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Because I feel the same way as you do. Like I don't know necessarily if he could be a every down type dude that you could drop him into coverage and stuff. That's a part of his game that I think he need to work on. But as far as rushing the passer, he ain't gonna have no problem. He pretty stout in the run game as well too. So, when you running that 3-4, one of them outside linebackers is always gonna be that fourth guy. Like it's kind of like a 4-3. It's just you got a standing linebacker instead of a actual defensive end. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think he'll definitely be all right though. We're gonna see him for a long, long time in the NFL. He's gonna have a long career. We got Rob
Yeah.
on the board at the Saints, New Orleans Saints.
Now this me.
yeah. I'm about to say Rob not
Oh,
bad.
this you?
Yeah.
Number 9,
Oh
Poe.
yeah, this Poe. Oh, see, yeah, I messed this all the way up. For sure I
You
did.
good? You good. That's why we
This
all here.
Poe. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people. We got Parlay Poe at 9, New Orleans Saints. This is a pick I think can go many different ways. Uh, the Saints could use a few different things, in my opinion. So we'll see what Parlay Poe over there cooking up. Um, but out of the top 8 that's already off the board, who do you guys think really is going to change their team like from day one?
Can y'all see my pick?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
up
I can
there.
see it.
Uh,
Oh man. I think when you look at it, man, these defensive tackles, man, you're talking Mason Graham, you're talking Abdul Carter, you're talking Jelon Walker. I think they're gonna be instant playmakers for their team. Will Campbell as well. I mean, it's really a selection. It's a selection of them. Not really one just pops off and say, "Oh yeah, this person going to be that game changer." Just looking at the picks we have so far.
Yeah. All right. Well, Poe's pick is in at 9. New Orleans Saints. He's going Kelvin Banks Jr. from the Texas University. Go ahead, speak about what your thought process was, Poe, with selecting
Yeah,
Banks Jr.
see with their new coach Kellen Moore, you know what I mean? He old school, so he trying to build that line up first. The way Spencer Rattler and Derek Carr was running for their life last year, you know what I mean? So this gonna be a big start to him coming into the NFL. So he gonna get that line right first, and then he gonna get a quarterback because they ain't gonna try to get this quarterback killed. The new
Right.
quarterback he got coming in, but they still got to play down later down the line for a quarterback.
And they passed up on Shador right here.
No, Shador gone.
It-
Shador 3. He in New
oh
York.
yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. My bad. My bad.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm on the clock, right?
No. Mm-mm.
At
T1
10?
on the clock. T1 on the clock.
I'm on
T1.
the clock. I thought I
Yeah,
was after you. I get or what? It switch. It just keeps
No,
switching up.
no,
you
no,
have to
I'm
you have
on
to
the
post.
clock. No,
What?
it's a snake draft though. T1 got 2, 7, 15, 18, 23,
Okay.
and 26.
Okay, my bad.
15, 18, what?
15, 18, 23, and 26.
Uh,
yeah,
And Rob, you got 3, 6, 11, 19, 22,
Yeah.
27, and
Okay.
30.
Okay. Cool.
All right, I'm just looking at my board, fellas. Y'all can keep on holding it down.
What team is up on the clock? That's what I'm
The
looking at.
Bears. We
Is
got
it
the
the
Bears
Bears.
at number 10.
Speaking about the Bears, like, I mean,
but see the Bears. See, but what the Bears did this offseason was good. They got
Yeah.
that. They did good with getting that offensive line together. So they ain't
Yep.
having no excuses for Caleb's actions this year. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they
So
got Joe. They got Joe Thuney from the
yeah,
Chiefs. He's a Pro Bowler. They got Jonah Jackson out of Detroit. He's a Pro Bowler. Um, Braxton Jones, the left tackle, though, he's in a contract year, so that's kind of iffy.
yeah,
yeah.
just stopping in to
Yeah, but they
some of the
got here some. They got here some help on offense though. They got him some help. So I
Yeah,
think I think the Bears is the probably looking to go either another offense or defense
yeah,
backfield.
yeah.
Defense
this,
backfield was trash.
If you
yeah,
don't mind, Fanador, if you could get like 10, 15 more seconds, appreciate Buddy 66 and Tyrone Stevens chiming in with us this afternoon, this morning into the afternoon. Buddy 66 said, "Let's go Bears." Tyrone Stevens said, "No way, Abdul Carter slides to 6." And we'll get to those comments as well.
yeah, I seen that. The NFL draft is very unpredictable, though.
Yeah,
Um, we don't know that. You know what I mean? So, um, and this pick might surprise a lot. At the number 10 pick, I think the Chicago Bears select Ashton Genty out of Boise State.
at
Uh,
10.
pair him with DeAndre Swift. That's like a yin and yang. We seen how well that can work out in the NFL.
Yeah,
Um, I was started to go the kid out of Missouri, the tackle out of Missouri, just because their left tackle is in a contract year. They might want to get younger there. It's very possible they can go that way too. But I think Genty, just the yin and yang, the two back system is proven to be right. So I don't think they pass up on Genty right here.
yeah, I agree.
That'd
Uh,
be that'd be cold.
yeah,
That'd be nice right there. That'd be real nice if he if
yeah,
he to pick him up. But you know, it's actually enough running backs in this draft where teams gonna get their backs. But that's a good one. That's a good one right there.
Yeah,
Nah, man, you picked the wrong team. That was New England.
At
At
number
10.
10 was the
Yeah,
Bears.
Number 10 was the Bears. New England was 4.
you know what I'm saying. Well, they got the wrong draft order in this one. There.
Buddy 66 said nice pick and Gentry.
Hey.
Yeah, that'll be
Okay,
hot.
yeah, they
That'll
did
be
have.
some hot offense.
They had to trade. They had to trade on the what's the name.
Oh,
They
yeah,
they
that that
suspect
that.
they expect the what's the name to come down and get number 10 from the Bears. So
All right,
New
we got
England.
we got Rob on the clock. At number 11, the San Francisco 49ers will be on the clock. But yeah, the Bears could go defense right there too. I do think that it's very
Yeah,
possible they could go defense. Because they still got some holes on that team for real. I think they need a defensive lineman. Um, it's possible they could draft somebody like Loveland right here too as well. I like Loveland possibly going to Chicago as well. So they got options though, dudes that could really like help their team from day one right there.
Yeah, I thought for sure they would probably go offensive lineman. And even though they did a lot of moves in the offseason and free agency, I thought they still would have got an offensive lineman, either the guy out of Missouri or if Banks or Will Campbell was still on the board. But, he went with a wide receiver. He was a running back.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It took me everything. It took all the power I had and all the strength I had not to select the kid out of Missouri. All right, with the number 11 pick, it's in. The San Francisco 49ers will be selecting Jade Barron out of the Texas University. Rob, tell us about your thought process behind this pick. Is it another homer pick or what's going on?
No, this is actually a 3-year starter who's played in the slot position. He played corner and he played safety. This is the most versatile defensive back in this draft. He can play any position on the field that you need him to play, which means he's going to be a chess piece that you can use in your defensive secondary. This guy is probably, and he's a Thorpe Water winner. He's probably the best at doing all of those things out of all of the DBs. And he's not the best corner, but he's definitely the best piece that you can use if you need him anywhere in that defensive secondary.
I respect it. I listen. Jade Barron has the talent to be the best corner out of this draft. It's like the tape doesn't lie. The dude, I think he plays the ball better than. It's a toss up between him and Will Johnson, honestly. Who plays the ball better? But as far as like his hands, he got great hands. He finds a way to put his hand into that receiver's into that receiver's gut or their chest when they catch that ball and wiggle that ball loose. He just got great hands for real. But I like that pick. I do like that pick though.
Yeah,
How
I
how, how the
good pick.
panel feel about that pick?
Man, that's a great pick. I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with the pick at all. Talking exactly like he said. So, me, a lot of players I think is going. Some of the picks seem like they should have went to a different team, but I think a lot of picks is going to be where they not plug and play, but they're going to fit the scheme of exactly what the offense may be doing or trying to establish and what the defense is even looking to do and bring those best attributes out in that player as well, which, will trickle down to throughout the team. And then having veteran leadership there, I think helps a lot of these young players as well.
I think it was a good pick. Um, Almost like getting one of the best players available. But I think the 49ers need to address that front line. It's good to have a corner out there, but you got to get that front line together, and that makes the cornerback that much better. So it's a good pick, but I thought they probably would have went D line right there.
Yeah, 12. Just insert 12. We got the Dallas Cowboys on the clock. That is Moss B. Moss B, your clock has officially started. Go ahead, look at your board.
Yes, sir. And the pick is in, so we got a little time to talk about it as far as whatnot that we may need to before the pick actually.
I
I
mean, the
like that
Cowboys
pick.
need so much. The Cowboys need so much, man. Shit, they could pick anybody.
It
Right.
could, yeah, it was. It boiled down to really like for me to pick it just boiled down to knowing Dallas is a team that builds off excitement, and it haven't really been happening on the defensive side, and maybe they need something more on the offensive side, rather defense. So that's what came down to me choosing the pick I chose as well.
So you picked
And with that being said,
you
at
picked
number 12, JoJo Moss B and the Dallas Cowboys select. He selects Matthew Golden, receiver out of Texas University. We've seen a run on these Texas players, Moss. So you could have went multiple different ways. Why do you think the Cowboys selected a receiver right here?
For me, just seeing what Lamb just seems to draw so much attention to where all you hear about is that. I think they definitely need another weapon to take some of the attention off of him. Defensively, I know Dallas is all over the place defensively, but the defensive lineman that they just signed and extended from Texas, I think having him, solidified and knowing he'll be there for a few years, I think that changes the outlook of their defense. I think their defense plays a lot better, but I think Dak needs another weapon outside of just knowing that he's looking for CD Lamb. I wanted to go tight end in a way because I know how much that tight end is coveted and blanketed. But I just went with Golden. I mean, he could definitely run routes. We see his breakaway speed, and to add another weapon with Lamb, I think makes sense in Dallas.
well, I thought they would go. I thought they was go O lineman since they lost three
Yeah.
in the Zach Martin dude, all world. He retired. They lost two to free agents, so I thought they would go O line instead of another skill position. Because wide receivers is out here, buddy,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
wide
free
receiver
agent.
out there.
These wide receivers is out here. You just got to go get them.
it's Jerry Jones too, and that's
Yeah,
and I'm
that's what.
like,
Yeah,
that's what I don't know if that's what made my pick. Another, just thinking about it, but I don't know. It seemed like they
and then they
really
just
need
got
to.
Joe Milton, so you know he just. So he's saying, Dak, you still on that leash.
Yeah,
Joe Milton, his arm ain't the problem. It is his accuracy. He got a
right,
big
Accuracy,
arm.
right.
I
And
definitely thought they would take Tyler Booker right there with that pick.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we still have out here who is technically the top prospect at the tackle position. He's still on the board. Um,
yes, sir.
yeah, I think the Cowboys would have definitely smashed him if he was right there.
Yeah.
All right, Moss, you got back to back picks, so you are on the clock
Dolphins
Clock
at
expired.
13. Yeah, the Miami Dolphins. Oh, it did expire. We need your pick in.
I got you. So
Mm. At 13, the Miami Dolphins and Moss B selects cornerback Benjamin Morrison out of Notre Dame University. Moss, go ahead, speak about your pick and how you felt. What was the thought process? We still have Will Johnson on the board. You think so? We think that he's going to take a slide, which is very possible because they keep on dealing with these nagging injuries. I think people are a little scared of him right now. So go ahead, talk about your thought process and in this pick.
both the thing about this pick, I was really looking at both of those, Will Johnson, Benjamin Morrison. Um, just to talk about Will Johnson's injury being consistent, that's the only reason like I was that close to picking him. But then I think with Morrison being able to play a little more all over that secondary, similar to what Will Johnson can do as well, but that injury again, I think that hurts where Will Johnson land. I still think he could possibly go in the first round. But I think for Morrison coming to Miami, I think that solidifies someone to where all the attention is not just solidified on Ramsey. You know, their defense can move around a lot more. Their linebackers really play. So just me, that was my choice of choosing Benjamin Morrison. Could definitely hold down his position as well. Great corner.
I think he good as a corner, but I don't think for him to be actually Miami Dolphins had a no fly zone for real. Their thing was they couldn't stop the run.
Yeah, they
You know
couldn't
what I
stop
mean?
the
Miami
run.
could not stop the run. So
Yeah,
I would think that they would have went either linebacker or D line because they had the no fly zone for real. But
yeah,
they got some people back there. But that's a good pick.
yeah. I had Kenneth Grant going in that spot, man, to Miami. They need a dude on that defensive line that can stop that run for them. So I had Kenneth Grant right there in that spot.
I am on the clock, guys. I'm sorry, I'm studying, so hold it down.
I
14.
wasn't for sure if I'm not mistaken. They was it Miami that lost to. I'm not for sure if they lost one of their defensive players or if it was the Raiders I was thinking about. But I'm thinking one they lost one of their players in that secondary. Miami and went signed down off season. That was another reason I plugged him in with Miami as well. I just think he just being that height, just can't let him go. So
At 14, my pick is in. Um, is I wanted to go a different way, but with the circumstances of this draft, um, top offensive tackle prospect, I think Indianapolis Colts will not let Armand Membu get past them if he is there. I wanted to pick Tyler Warren right here. That was my original pick. I did not think this guy was going to be here, so that's why I selected him. They got two tackles that's going to probably hit free agency next year. So you getting younger. You're on a rookie contract. I think this is the way to go for them.
Yeah, you can't pass up a good lineman,
Yeah, you can't pass
especially
up a good line, that's for
yeah,
sure.
especially him, man. Surprisingly, he's still on the board. I thought he would have went to the Jets, but this is a good pick. He's still on the board. Solidify that line, man.
Yeah, I thought the Jets was gonna get him at that point too, parlay. I thought for sure the Jets was grab him up, but that's why I had him penciled in too. But he didn't go there in our draft anyway.
Yeah.
We
Who
got
on the clock?
at number 15. We're on the clock. Who we got?
That should be me, right?
Yep, T1. You are on the clock. T1 and the Atlanta Falcons. A couple needs that the Falcons need. They need an edge rusher, maybe a defensive lineman, cornerback, offensive lineman, and safety.
Ooh.
And with the 15th pick, T1 selects Will Johnson, cornerback out of the Michigan University. Um, T1, how you? What was your thought process behind that pick? That I love the pick personally. Go ahead, speak about it.
I mean, they needed a little bit of everything on defense, and if Will is still there for them, they have to pick him up. They have to pick him up. One of the best corners in the draft, if not the best corner in the draft. You know, he got hurt and went ahead and pulled out for the rest of the senior season. And if he can fall down here to the, and I'm not sure if it's a fall, but if Atlanta could pick him up right there with that 15th pick, I'm quite sure they'll be excited about their first round draft pick.
Yeah, this will be a slight fall for me for Will Johnson. I think people are scared of him for real because of his turf toe he been dealing with. Then he pulled his hammy. So I think people are definitely a little hesitant on him right now. But now you can get him healthy. I think you're getting a tremendous player because really he's a seatbelt. He's one of the seatbelts. We got it. He's a definite for sure seatbelt.
Very nice.
Yeah, I originally had Michael Williams at this spot, but hell, when Will Johnson is there and you need a corner, you have to pull it on that one, man. You got to pull and get Will Johnson right there. Um, I don't think you can go wrong right there because they're gonna fix whatever it is. It's Eleni. The NFL gonna fix that. Trust me.
Yes, they are. They draft off of potential, and he have a lot of potential.
At 16, we got Arizona on the clock. Rob, you are on the clock. No, no,
That's
no, not
me.
Rob. Poe, you are on the clock. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, fellas. Poe,
yeah.
um, go ahead, look at your board. Hey, but I could tell you what, if if some of these dudes are sliding, man, and it's just you gotta draft based off of team needs. I mean you can't force any pick really unless it is. I think the only pick that you force is if it's a good lineman right there and you're getting the right value. You can never have enough linemen. I feel like so. Um, I think that's a fabulous pick, bro. Like I hope he land there too. Though. Like that'd be dope for real. In Atlanta, yeah, I love to see Will. I could see him in the Atlanta uniform.
I got back to backs coming up.
Yeah, you got back to backs coming. Um, Poe pick is in him and the Arizona Cardinals. He selects Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M. Correct? Am I correct?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah,
to,
Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M. Poe, go ahead, tell us why that was your selection and what your
Hey,
thought process was behind it.
because they actually need some help. They need more than him, but his motor runs. He have a good motor, and he'll get to that quarterback. He an edge dude. So Arizona have a bunch of holes, but he'll help them out on defense, getting to that QB. So that's why I made the pick.
Yeah. Um, only scary part about Shamar Stewart, he created a lot of pressure. I think he was one of the highest. He had one of the highest pressure rates in college football last year, but it didn't produce into sacks. So that's one of the
Yeah,
scary parts about Shamar Stewart for me. I like guys with production. I want to see the numbers. You know what I'm saying? So I love his motor though. He does have a high motor. And I think he's good with his hands. I think he's elusive with some of his moves, and he's a big human being.
yeah.
yeah, yeah. He has extreme upside. That's for sure. I would thought Arizona probably would have went with a wide receiver right here, but if you can get defensive help, you can't pass up on defensive help. That's for sure.
I like the
Yeah,
pick.
I mean they drafted Marv last season in the first round,
Yeah.
so
And then
receiver really.
they just signed McBride for a nice little contract. So, you know what I mean? It's like it's on Tyler and them to get it done, man. Because these receivers is out here, man. You still got Mike Williams. Uh, you still got a couple of these dudes. What's name wanted to get out of there, but he read up downtown. He really wanted to get out of He want to get out of the Ravens because they don't pass like that. To him, I'm gonna say, since they got
Yeah,
Zay.
yeah.
Poe, you are back on the clock. You are selecting for the Bengals, Mossberg's Bengals. Um, 35 seconds. Pick in.
But
Did you correlate with the family member about his pick about this pick?
no.
He's
No.
like, no, I got this.
Give us some help on the defensive side, parlay.
You already know. You already know.
Edge, safety, linebacker, offensive line, corner. Really defense.
Everything,
Everything on the
everything,
defense.
defense,
They need a lot of
everything.
defensive help over there. Yeah, yes, sir, T1.
Damn,
And next we got at 18, we got T1 on the clock with Seattle. And the pick is in. At 17, Cincinnati Bengals will select James Pierce Jr. out of Tennessee, the Tennessee Volunteer. What was your thought process behind that pick, Poe? I know they let go Trey Hinkerson, or I don't know. Trey
Well,
Hinkerson is still up in limbo,
that
right?
that's why the pick was made because the lack of process with his contract.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He going one out. So right now they wouldn't have to pay this rookie much, and I ain't gonna say he gonna get the production on the field that Hendricks did, but he can play too, and he played with a motor. Most of these edge rushers in this draft, they have a nice motor on them. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Most of them. So that's why I would pick this. So because he will be on a rookie contract and not getting all the millions from the cheap bingos. Dude, cheap. How you gonna not sign the sack leader, bruh?
Bro, it's it's universal with them. They've been doing that the whole history, man. It's crazy. I would have been signing him once he got that, like, way back. He broke the sack record. Like, I'd
Yeah.
have been gave him that, man. That's defense. Defense win championships. You don't wait to sign money.
I was wondering if James Pierce was going to hit our draft because he got some off field issues, and I didn't know if somebody was going to pull the trigger on him. But Parlay Poe, you pulled the trigger on a very talented player. I
Hey,
just
Yeah.
we'll take
wonder
him in the natty. We'll
if he's
take
going
him.
to be worth it. Yeah, very talented player for sure.
Yeah, we take him. I'm not mad at it.
Just by the way, T1 is on the clock. Rob, you got the next pick.
Mhm.
At
And who was that?
19.
Who was that? Tampa Bay,
You got
Yep,
Seattle.
my,
I got
my
Tampa.
Buccaneers.
Seattle,
You
Seattle.
got Seattle.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got
you
Tampa.
got Seattle. Team needs offensive line, receiver, cornerback, safety, defensive line. Hey, Rob, make sure you do not draft a kicker when you get to my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We
No,
do not
punter,
need a kicker in the first round. Okay,
punter,
no,
bro,
we
punter.
don't need a punter. We don't need a punter. Do not set me up like that, man. Show me some love. T1, we need your. Oh, okay, your pick is in. I'm sorry. T1 is on fire right now. I thought I just mentioned. Um, at number 18, at number 18 with the Seattle Seahawks, T1 in Seattle will be selecting Josh Simmons out of the Ohio State University, which could possibly be the biggest steal in the draft because nobody's talking about him. But I think this is the best tackle in the draft. T1, go ahead and speak about how you feel and why you chose that pick. Um, yeah,
Getting that offensive line right. They know they're gonna need to protect that quarterback, so getting the offensive line right, and as you said, one of the top left tackles in the draft. So, hey, solid pick right there. If he does happen to fall down to Seattle, and an easy pick for Seattle if he was available when they got on the clock.
how do you guys feel about that pick? 19, we do got Rob on the clock with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bay Buccaneers.
Mm.
I thought
That's
Seattle should have went with some defense to help
Oh,
somebody in
is
their
this pick here?
secondary, uh, but they decided to go with the offensive line, which you can't go wrong with offensive linemen. But I would have went with a defensive secondary guy in that pick. With that pick.
Yeah. And with that being said, at
ooh,
19,
ooh,
at
that's
19, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selecting Nick Emma. Somebody, I'm not trying to botch his name. Nicky
Even
out of South
Warren.
Carolina,
that
safety. Emma Worry. Thank you. I
good
love the
pick.
selection. Go ahead, speak about how you feel about that pick.
I mean, this guy has range. He has size. He has everything you need at that safety position. He gonna knock people's head off. He can cover and he can cover ground if he has to come from that safety position and run support. This guy is probably the top safety, if not the top safety, the second best safety in this draft, in my opinion.
Yeah, he
Your
definitely
first
have range,
out
and
of
he will
Georgia.
hit you. What you say?
I say, who's your first one? Starks out of Georgia, because I believe he's still on the board, isn't he?
It was
Yeah,
it was up between him and Malachi
yeah,
Starks.
Uh
Yes.
huh.
yeah.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
See, I had him for my pick coming up for the Vikings. I have both of them too. So yeah, that's a good pick. Dude can play, man. He come down to stop the run too.
Yeah.
I like the
I'm on
pick.
the clock.
What team you have on the clock?
I
Uh,
got the Denver
Broncos.
Broncos. I think I just spelled his name wrong, but it'll work. And with the 20th pick in the 2025 WTP Sports Dude mock draft, the Denver Broncos will be selecting T. McMillan out of Arizona. Um, Top 10 prospect on the board. I don't think he slides that far. But if he's on the board right here, the Broncos is going to snatch him. Originally, I thought this was a play for the second running back to come off the board, and Amarion Hampton out of North Carolina. But with circumstances of our mock draft, that's not going to happen. If that guy is there, they're going to select him. Big body, 6'4". Um,
Yeah,
I don't think he creates a lot of separation, so I can see him slipping in this draft. But he's 6'4", man. You know, tall receivers win at the end of the year.
yeah. This a good pick. You got to think when you're in the NFL, they throw you open. You know what I mean? And Bo Nix is one of them kind of players. So it's a good if he available there, he's a good pick. You know what I mean? And then they also could have used the tight end with two still on the board, and they could have used some more offensive lineman help. But this is a good pick with T. McMillan.
I agree. I agree. That's great for that offense right there, and to keep that offense going. Help the young quarterback out. Nice big long receiver. Yeah, I like that. That's a great pick right there. If Denver can pick that up.
Yeah, I like the pick too. I mean, talking
We
about
got Moss on the clock. We
T.
got Moss
McMillan.
on the clock. I'm sorry, Moss. We got
Nah,
you
you
on the
good.
clock. Uh, 21 at Pittsburgh.
Man,
LA Poe, man, I don't really know what y'all gonna do, man, when it comes to this quarterback situation. You know, I know y'all need a wide receiver. They say so. I think that's talking about slot running back. Um, for me, I've really been looking at how y'all really been a team that established yourself defensively. I think when it comes to quarterback, I think y'all gonna get what y'all need when it comes to that free agency. I think it's just a holdout and what it is. He's doing what he's doing, which we all know. Um, so I'm stepping on the defensive tackle side. I'm gonna type it in for you. I think this is a steal for you guys, and the size he brings. Um, what Pittsburgh's identity is on the defense.
And with the 21st pick, the 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 Pittsburgh Steelers and Moss B selects Derek Harmon, defensive tackle out of Oregon. Go ahead, talk about your thought process behind that pick, and I want to hear from Poe and his thoughts on that pick as well.
I honestly wanted to pick a quarterback. I did, but I just think Pittsburgh is the organization. He's not only working out with those guys for no reason. I think they know what they're going to do when it comes to the quarterback position. Um, I think this pick for me was knowing that Pittsburgh is a team that the defense separates them from a lot of teams. And when you get a defensive tackle at Harmon's size, 6'5",
Chip,
313, the last defensive tackle slash linebacker I can remember was Harrison that was around that size. And with, that NFL workout, I think he can cause some havoc on the defensive side of the football. He's fast, very athletic, and he can get through those low blocks in between tackles where they try to shed those blocks. So that was another reason I picked him too. And you see he can't get after the quarterback.
at 22, we got T1 on the clock with the Chargers.
22 or
That's
23?
me. That's me. I'm 22.
Yeah.
Oh, 22, you 20. Oh, yeah. You're right. I'm sorry. I botched that.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
thought for
botched
sure
that. That's
The
Rob.
Steelers would go with a defensive lineman. I thought they would have went with Walter Nolan instead of Derek Harmon, but that's a good pick too. They definitely need a defensive lineman for sure.
See, I would have surprised the world. I would have got Jackson Dart.
My board literally has Jackson Dart written over. I just don't know what y'all gonna do with Aaron Rodgers, man. I think you can get him. I don't know.
Yeah, but he could learn behind Aaron Rodgers. Got 2 years at the most.
Right, I agree. That's man.
I would have picked Dart.
Okay, the pick is in. The Los Angeles Chargers and Rob selects tight end Tyler Warren out of the Penn State University. Go ahead and speak about why you made that pick and what your thought process was.
Well, because they wanted to tie it in. Jim Harbaugh would have liked to have gotten Coastal Loveland right there because he would have thought Tyler Warren would have been gone. But Tyler Warren was not gone, so he had to go ahead and bite the bullet and take Penn State's Tyler Warren right there instead of his man Coastal Loveland. So he needed a tight end. He got one, probably the best one in college football. He probably's not going to be an inline blocker, but he got a solid pass catching tight end in Tyler Warren.
Harbaugh wouldn't have did that.
No, I know.
Harbaugh would have got Lovely.
Yeah. He
Who
actually
said?
got Coastal Loveland as that pick right there, but with Tyler Warren on the board, I had to go with him.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah, and we do got what we got on the clock.
I'm on the clock right now. I'm about to put it in there.
T1, yeah, T1 is on the clock at 23. The Green Bay Packers. KFB said, "I agree, Tidy. He won't slide no lower than 4."
Yeah, that's man.
Team needs. Anybody know team needs for the Green Bay Packers this year?
More defensive.
Okay,
More
Cornerback.
defensive.
they
Yeah,
need defense.
Yeah,
Drake Amos. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good pick right there.
And at the 23 slot, the Green Bay Packers and brother T1 selects Trey Amos. Go ahead, speak about your thought process behind that pick.
Easy, quick pick for Green Bay right there. They need help on the defensive side of the ball, and Trey is still there, solid cornerback. Uh, easy pick for Green Bay right there, and they got a
Oh, you
pretty
like?
good one.
I'm sorry,
No, I was just saying,
Paul
and they
Mosh. Y'all
got a
like?
pretty good one right there.
Yeah, Paul Mosh. Y'all like that pick for the Green Bay Packers?
Yes, I do. That's an excellent pick. Um, he rangy. He could play. Played in the SEC, so he's seen a lot of receivers.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So he know how to get the job done.
yeah, and that's the type of cornerback that Green Bay like. They like them long, rangy
Yeah.
corners. As you can see, that's I think when Green Bay have those type of players in that secondary, their defense is a lot more stout. That's a team that, again, defensively, if they get themselves, a position, offensively, they have some young talent and they could, do some things. So I think this is a great addition to that defense and secondary.
Yeah, at 24, we got Poe on the clock with the Minnesota Vikings. Um, Poe, when you get your pick, write it in the chat.
Y'all don't know about this guy right here.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
They had him on.
mm.
Just sit down.
And then 24th pick in the 2025 WTP Sports Mock Draft, Parlay Poe and the Minnesota Vikings select Siobhan Revelle out of East Carolina. Go ahead, speak about that. You right. I don't know nothing about this guy.
But I listen. I had to look on some tape when he popped up on people's draft board. I had to Google this dude. Hey man, he could play. He could possibly be in the best corner off on the board besides Travis. He can dude can play, man.
His
Yeah,
ball skills is
yeah,
insane.
he dude
The
can
way
play,
he
man.
like the way he catch up and like for a cornerback to play off of you and for his speed to be the way it is, that's insane. And it's good that you picked a player like this, Parlay Poe, um, because it just shows that when we look at things like this, we don't know who coaches are looking at, who GMs are looking at. So this is a great pick because they have talked about another player. I didn't think this was the one they talked about. I think a linebacker or someone else as far as Eastern Carolina as well. So this cornerback, once they show some clip, he definitely is one.
Yeah.
That's a steal.
Yeah, I actually had Trey Amos where T1 picked him at, and I also had Shaban. That ain't the way you really say his name. Rebel right there where Parlay Poe got him at. I had both of them in those positions. So I guess great minds think alike.
Yeah,
And I am on the board. I am on the clock at 25 with the Texans. Um, Offensive lineman, um, receiver, defensive lineman. I think just how my board is set up, I think the Texans will take Kenneth Grant right here. Um, he could possibly, I think a lot of light was shed on him, taken away from him because of Mason Graham, but another fabulous player. I think he could turn out to be one of the best players in this draft as well. So at 25, I got the Houston Texans taking Kenneth Grant.
Great pick, great pick.
Yeah, when dude like dudes that supposed to be higher picks when they do like this, like when they uh when they linemen and stuff, I think they take that personally and try to come in and dominate. Like the dude from Michigan that played for the Bengals. What's his name? Uh what's the dude for the
uh, no, I said again. What position?
he played defensive line for y'all. He came from Michigan.
Oh my God, you talking about? Is it not Walker? Is it Murphy? He's from
Nah,
Florida. Jenkins.
dude played
Talking
good
about Jenkins.
when he got his
Talking about
Jenkins.
Jenkins. Yeah.
Jenkins, yeah.
When
When he got his
he
chance.
play, yeah, when he out there, he's a monster, bro.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's different, and that's what the thing I noticed. Like Michigan definitely have them trench babies that has grown up into men that has definitely had talent over these last few
I
years.
love D lineman, man.
You can
Ooh,
stay there. You
I
got
love
T1,
D. I love it.
I'm sorry to cut y'all guys off, but T1, you are on the clock at 26 with the Rams,
Man,
and your pick is
man.
in. I love the pick. I love this pick right here at 26. T1 and who's this pick again? The Rams select Mike Green, Marshall. Speak about why you picked him.
Hey, needed an edge player, the best edge player available. Um, a sleeper coming into the draft, but once the combines and all that stuff went in, they learned about this kid, the senior game, uh, those Senior Bowl games. They learned about this kid, and this would be a great pickup right here.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
And at 27, we got Rob on the clock. That was T1's final pick as well. But at 27, we got Rob on the clock with the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, I like Mike Green. Um, he led college football in sacks last year, didn't he? Was 17 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It was like 17 in like 13 games though. That's crazy.
Yeah, he put up some numbers.
Yeah, that's production. And the Rams pick is in. Oh, I thought it was in.
Nah, he said the Texans. Kenneth
Uh,
Grant. Kenneth Grant.
Oh, okay, okay, cool.
and at number 27, the Baltimore
Mm,
Ravens selects Malachi Starks out of Georgia. Um, who I think is really the best safety in this draft. I know Nick Amore, I'm E man. I know he has all the physical from the combine, and he's probably going to lead Malachi Starks. But I do think this guy is the best safety in the draft. Go ahead, speak about why you chose that pick, Rob.
Well, they need safety help because they got guys back there that's getting a little bit old, and I think that that's a good spot for them. Offensively, they have some things that they need too. I think they need another wide receiver, but they got, like Parlay Post said earlier, they got to get away from always thinking they got to throw the ball to Zay Flowers and get some other guys in the mix. But I think defensively, they needed a guy like Malachi Starks to help shore up that defense for the future for sure.
yeah, definitely. He a baller, man. Dude can baller. Think about him. He can. I don't know about no NFL slot, but he can guard a college slot receiver. So he versatile with that.
We got Detroit on the clock at 28. That's Moss B.
It's gonna be a
Kev B said.
What's their needs?
Kev, Kev B said
crazy
Kenneth Grant
thing.
would be a good
They
NFL
needed
player.
a defensive line um, with the injury and losing. Then they tight ends. They've been talking about their tight ends with their contracts and stuff coming up, but I think more so that defensive line um, to put some pressure on that QB as well as the injury from your boy
Hey,
Hutchinson.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but that pick is off the board. Kenneth Grant went to Houston.
Yeah,
Oh no, it ain't go in. My bad. Okay, I see it. Oh no, that's cool. I can still go this way because I mean, either yeah, either way is this was my pick to them, one or the other.
You sure you want to do that pick, bro?
Only reason, I mean, I was
They got one of the best ones in the league, bro. Come on, bro.
I
I
mean
can't let you
his
do that.
he
I
up
can't let you do that one, bro.
Yeah,
You
he up
gotta find
next year in
somebody
his
else on the
future.
board, bro. They got one of the best ones in the
yeah,
league, bro. You
You better
can't
go
go
with
that.
Walter. You better go Walter Nolan or offensive lineman, bro.
yeah. Because they dude from Iowa, what's his name, Laporta or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he nice.
Because I'm just trying to think if they really want to extend him. That's the only
Oh, they
reason.
got to. They got
If
to
I was
extend
looking
him.
at his,
They got to extend him.
yeah, it'll be that offensive lineman. What's his name? Shit, you just said it.
Is
I
he
got
off?
him taking Gray Zabel from North Dakota State.
Yeah,
what's his first name? Okay,
Walter.
Walter.
Walter Nolan is the pick for Detroit. Um,
Ole Miss.
out of Ole Miss, yes. Speak about Walter Nolan, mostly.
Project. And it's Detroit. Like both of my picks for Detroit, really. I looked out for the future as far as not knowing what Aiden Hutchinson would do, but I think with Nolan, you still getting a nice player. You're talking about someone that's played in a conference that's not only still people say is the top, but I feel he's proven what he could do, not just in the trenches, but his leadership. And then when you have those years and you're not just there, you starting, you consistently playing, that makes a difference for your team. You know, defensively,
You
you
back to
pair
back.
this guy. You said what? Yeah, nah, you pair him with
You also
Hutchison.
back to back.
Yeah, I got the Commanders coming up. When you pair him with Hutchison, I think that's just that's just something to look at. Oh no, I did pick him wrong. So I do got my other one going here, and the reason I got my other one going here in Chase is because of the fact I think when you pair, of course, a tight end with a quarterback, I think that just gives him an added weapon. You already got Debo, you already got Scary Terry, and I think if you get a young tight end and not fold with you, I think
Col-
you just get that much more danger.
His name Colston Loveland.
Coasting, I'm
Yeah,
tripping.
Yeah, at yep, at what is that, 29?
Yeah.
yeah. That's a
Yeah,
good pick.
29. The Commanders select Colston Loveland out of Michigan. Uh, go ahead and speak on that pick.
When you got Debo on one side, you got Scary Terry on the other. You can't just you can't just double coverage all day long. You gotta now look for that middle. And when you have a player like Loveland, we know what he brings to the table. You're talking about coming in off of NFL training camp, a healthy coasting. That's new money. And I mean, his body, the way he catch the ball, the way he runs routes, and he can actually block. He don't just block; he sit people on their butt. So I've always liked, Loveland the way he just plays, the way he go out there. And when he came back to give it another run, that told me a lot more about him as a player. He willing to, put whatever on the line and go out there and just play for the team. So I think that'll be a big help for the Commanders as well.
And at 30, the pick is in. We had Rob with Buffalo. He's going Luther Burton. Was it the second or third?
The third.
The third. Luther Burton, third receiver out of Missouri. Go ahead and speak about that pick. I am on the
Nice.
clock with the Chiefs, so I will be studying my board.
Nice.
Yeah, they definitely need wide receiver help right there.
Yes.
And Luther Burden will be the guy for them, a guy that got some good production, a guy that will fit right in their system. So I think he's going to be a great addition to them. I liked him at Missouri, even though he had some times where he really wasn't that productive because the quarterback situation was so whack and they couldn't block nobody or coming off the edge. But other than that, Luther Burden, I think, is the pick for them.
Yes, I agree. I agree. He's good, man. He considered he hard to tackle too. You know what I mean? He hard to tackle. Once he get the ball in his hands, he's hard to tackle. I like him. Look, there you go, right there. They just
One of the bigger receivers in the draft too. You know, kind of remind me of like how Kyle Pitts was. I think how they had him at his tight end position. How he came in. You know, nice size on him.
Mm.
Very underrated wide receiver.
he hard to tackle, man. He
Yeah,
hard to tackle.
and he runs great routes. We see he can catch the ball, and he can. I mean, be a great acquisition. I feel like.
I would have personally went with defense. I think that their offense is high power enough to where in this first round with this pick, I think I would have had to go defense. But you can't go wrong with that. You know, you have to in the AFC. We got to be able to compete offensively with those teams that put them big points up.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think with this, I think that definitely put some pressure if they don't still have Amari Cooper. And with this young team, we see what Josh Allen done. Got him an MVP. So I mean, you give him another young weapon.
That was Lamar's, man.
So I mean, I'm
He's
just
not
saying.
a
I mean, we
receiver
could.
either. He's only 6'2". Don't
Yeah,
forget y'all try to call Ibuka small. He's 6'1", but Burton is only 6 foot.
yeah, but he like 200 pounds though.
You say he play big, huh?
Yeah, big dude. Like he hard to tackle. That's what it is, man.
Right.
Yeah,
Definitely solid.
yeah.
All right, my pick is in. I think at 31, the Chiefs select left tackle Josh Connerly out of Oregon.
Yep.
I think they got torched in the Super Bowl, and I think they need to address their offensive line. That looked like the worst thing. Patrick Mahomes, he was like he was running for his dear life that whole game. So
Yeah.
I think they addressed their offensive line, maybe with their first two picks, honestly. But Josh Connolly, Oregon left tackle.
I agree. I agree with that pick because they did get torched.
Yeah.
Like up
They,
on
they
that.
need a they need a pass rusher too. So hopefully they address that in this draft as well. They need a pass
It's,
rusher and they need some offensive line, like you said. But they
yeah.
need some pass rush too, man. They didn't get much out of anybody other than that kid 95.
Yep.
Yeah.
And to wrap up the NFL draft, we got Rob on the clock at number
That's,
32.
that's me.
That's
Oh, Poe,
Paul.
I'm sorry, Poe on the clock at 32. Um,
We need you to get this together.
hey man, chill, man. I'm
We
doing a
need you
lot
to
over
get
here,
this
man. My
together.
brain is running rapidly right
You
now.
good, man. You
Yeah.
good. Shout out to FanDuel for all the great highlights and everything he done put on the
Yeah.
stream for us today, man. That boy's been
I don't
working,
know how
working.
you. I don't know how this how you spell his name. Hold on. I don't know how you. But with this pick, with the Eagles losing so much stuff, I'm gonna have to go here.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, with Eagles losing so much stuff, I'm gonna have to go here.
At 32, Parlay Poe selects Bama linebacker Jahad Campbell. I kind of felt like my Tampa Bay Buccaneers might snatch him up as well. We could address that position with him. Great pick. I think he is the best linebacker in this draft. Speak about it.
Yeah, he is, man. Yeah, I'm talking about he rangy. He a tackling machine. You know what I mean? He gonna get it done. Come from a winning organization. You know what I mean? And going to a winning organization. With they losing so much, they need linebacker help and they need defensive line help too. They lost two big boys in that middle that help tackle Mahomes. You know what I mean? They lost two of them jokers. But with him, he a start.
Definitely be a great pickup. That'll definitely be a great pickup for the defending champions on that defensive side of the ball. That'd be great if he slid down there to them at that 32 pick. I like it.
Yeah.
talking about another athlete on the Eagles defense, and we've seen what they did with DeJean last year. I think we'll be looking at some of the similar things with Jihad coming there. Just athletic freak of nature. Like Parlay Post said, man, everything he said is just right there in the footage. And you get in the steal as well. Some of the players, I feel like it'd be a steal because on some draft boards they're not even there um, this low, this late in
Nah,
the
they not. They
and
not.
I just think that when you get these guys, some of these young talents, man, are franchise players. Got to get them when they're there. Stay tuned to what'll be next out of them. I think greatness out of Jihad for sure.
Yeah,
So we
I had him going 26 to the Rams, but of course, he fell all the way down there to Parlay Poe at 27. I mean 20. I mean 32 with the Eagles. But I think it's a really good pick, man. He's one of the best linebackers in this draft. Probably will be the first linebacker off the board, actually.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna let y'all know right now. He there with my Buccaneers pick. We're picking him. Levante Davis, 35, coming up. Cervisier can't stay healthy. We need a middle linebacker. So if he there, we grabbing him.
so we have one running back come off the board.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Uh,
one. Yeah.
yeah.
That was it.
And
And he
my,
probably went too high.
I think only three wide receivers.
I'm the only one that drafted the running back.
I was going to take him to Dallas at 12, Genty. I was going to take Shador to your boys Parlay Pro if he would have fell that low. Like,
You
oh yeah,
think
I'm saying if
y'all,
Shador fall that low, of course you got to take him.
yeah.
y'all think Genty at 10 is too high?
Nah, I was going to take him to
I
Dallas at
do.
12.
I
I would.
do. I think he's too
It would be
high.
nice for him to go to Chicago. That'd be a nice. That'd be a nice little something y'all put together right there. I would like to see that, but you
Hey,
got to understand that they are still in position to get a great receiver. I mean, running back. If they don't pick him at number 10, there's
That's
still some
fine.
great running backs out here to where they don't have to sacrifice that number 10 pick, where they could even get, some offensive line help right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is
listen,
That's
Gentry gonna make
McMillan,
them
Or
better
one,
though?
or one of those big receivers that still was on the board.
Is
yeah.
Gentry
McMillan.
gonna make them better today? Like,
Yes,
okay,
that create pass play action.
but they got Swift.
Yeah.
But that's what
It's
I'm
other
saying.
running backs.
Just
It's
like
other running
Detroit,
backs that you could have paired up with Swift as well.
yeah, just
That's in
like
the draft.
Detroit got the yin and yang. That'll be a yin and yang right there. Swift is nice, but you need a thumper too. You know what I mean?
My
I think
thinking was you could get
it's
that.
four first round running backs
Yeah.
that's in this draft. It's like 40, four, maybe even five. Really, that if they wasn't trying to degrade the running back position, there's like at least four first round running backs in this draft.
Yeah, so T. McMillan out of Arizona fell to me at 20. I had Omarion Hampton coming off the board right there, but that pick was too good to pass
Yeah,
up.
he
Yeah.
is sleeper. He is
Yeah,
sleeper.
that's what I'm saying. Big, powerful running back.
Like
Yeah.
It's
I
a deep
wanted to
running
pick
back
him to
class.
go to
And
Dallas.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like how they got kicked out of the first round because there's some first round running backs in this draft, but just the way they play in the running back position now, as if it's not that important. But we just saw with our Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles just how important the running back position is when you get a Saquon that leaves a bad New York Giants team, and then you hand him over to a Philadelphia Eagles team that is year in year out in the playoffs and not that far removed from a Super Bowl, and you see what he did for that offense and for that team.
Yeah.
The
And
running back is going to be coming back.
Go
you
ahead.
can get two running backs in the first round if the pool ain't so large as it is right now. It's so large you can skip on him at 10. You gonna get a quality one in the second
Yeah,
round. Do the same thing. So for that value, I probably wouldn't have picked him at 10 because there's so many of them. Now, if
Yeah,
it was only three, then I could get him at 10 because the value is there because there's not a whole bunch of other guys out there. That's the only reason why I wouldn't take him at 10. But I had him on my board at 20 to Denver, him or Amari and Hampton?
I get your thought process behind that, but it only take one team to love you. It only
Yeah,
take
that's true.
one.
That's
Yeah,
it.
Ask Bijan Robinson. That's how he got there at 7. And it was
yeah.
only 2 that year. It was only him and the dude that's at Detroit, Gibbs. That was the 2 highest. So they had value. Both of them went in the first round.
They got plan for Robinson this year, man. That coach got the plan for Robinson, man.
It'll be crazy out there in that field.
With him, Penix, man, Cal Pitts, man. Hey,
Hey, now looking at the draft and what we did through 1 through 32, what one player can we single out and say he's immediately going to change that team's that side of the ball right now?
mm,
Just for that side of the ball.
yeah. Travis,
Travis, yeah, Travis.
Travis.
I'm gonna go this sneaky one. Who picked that 26 at the Rams?
I did. That's why I
I,
picked Green.
I think Mike Green, he changed that team, that side of the ball more than anybody else that's on this 1 through 32. I think he's gonna make the most impact for that unit.
I got Mike Green going number 8 to Carolina on my board. That's how good I think he is.
Yeah.
He been jumping board like they talking about him a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, I like that
We
pick
didn't
too.
even talk about the dude for the uh the tight end from Bowling Green.
Right,
Oh,
he
Yeah.
he a freak of nature. I think he
Yeah,
gonna be a
but
steal.
they got him under Taylor from LSU, and I don't think it's true.
Yeah, I think he better than if you ask me. I think he above him for sure. I think he should get a lot more respect than what they've been giving him.
I don't know, man. Dude is fluid. They didn't use him a lot though. But
But
his
you
Yeah,
got to
tape
think
is his tape is immaculate.
yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's Bowling Green. So if you put him in an offense to where you got to use him, I think you see a whole different skill. You
No,
know,
I'm talking about Mason Taylor, Moss. They didn't
well, yeah,
use him a lot, but his tape is
um,
immaculate. He
I like
fluid.
that. I like that kid from Bowling Green.
Toledo got a good defensive lineman too. Darius Alexander. He's a top 50 guy on the board in this draft too. He's a pretty good run stuffer, pretty good defensive lineman.
Yeah.
You
It's a
know,
lot of people on our draft board that's probably won't fall as much as we thought they'll fall, or some people gonna be picked, I mean, higher than what we thought.
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure, sure.
Yeah, it's just like only reason I didn't pick Jackson Dart is just I don't know what they're gonna do with the quarterback, man. It was like
I was
I
I
had
said,
him on my board to pick.
but knowing the Steelers, man, knowing the Steelers, I would have picked me personally, but knowing the Steelers, they won't pick him.
And
Even
that's
if he there,
crazy.
if he there at that, they won't pick him if a good lineman on either side of the ball is available. They still ain't gonna get no quarterback over a D line or O line.
And
Steelers
looking
don't
at
do
the
that.
and just looking at the draft, like that's the only pick. Like if it's a pick that you will have back, would it be a pick that you will have back?
But
That's the
that
only
fifth
one.
round, that fourth, fifth round, them quarterbacks still available. Getting Will Johnson there, uh, even Gabriel, if he there, we're gonna get a quarterback somehow. Watch.
Yeah.
Hey, and let me ask this last question I got. Can we identify one guy that we did not pick in this first round that we think is definitely uh or a high possibility going in the first round?
Uh, Let me see.
Amari Hampton.
Who?
Amari Hampton.
Marion Hampton out of North Carolina.
Amari
Nah,
Hampton.
he a
Yeah.
running back. That running
Yeah.
back. Nah, I
Like
don't.
I mean, he performed even better without May. Like that's
Yeah,
the only thing.
I think that's I think that's I think we did good with the one running back coming off the board, because I think it's only going to be
Yeah.
one running back coming off the board in this first round. I'm trying to tell you.
I got two candidates that I think has a high possibility of going in the first round that we did not pick. Tyler Booker, Alabama, inside
Right.
offensive lineman. I think
Yeah,
he somebody might snatch him up. I think he might be probably the most likeliest guy that had a best career out of all them offensive linemen in the draft. And then Nick Scort, how you say his name, Scorton, out of
yeah,
Texas A&M, the edge. I
yeah.
think somebody might nab him up as well.
Yeah, I really do think that North Dakota offensive lineman Gray Zabel,
The
whatever his
Bill.
name is, yeah, I think he's going to get drafted in the first round by somebody. And I think Maxwell Harrison from Kentucky. Now, teams are high on this guy, but I didn't see it.
Maxwell Harrison. Oh, I missed out on him.
Yeah,
I didn't see what they were talking about. But
yeah,
teams
yeah.
are high on him. Maybe it's
That's
just
the
because they
cornerback,
didn't have
right?
the
Yeah.
cornerback in. Maybe they
Yeah,
didn't have
yeah,
all the other pieces, but I didn't see it. But teams are
yeah.
high on him.
Put it like this. Put it like this. No, no. Kentucky had great defense. They had no offense, and he was one of the reasons why.
Yeah,
So you know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
why you feel me. He was one of the reasons why. That's why he on them boards up there. And then he tested well. He ran the fastest 40 time.
yeah.
So that's all I got though. Y'all got any other things?
No,
That's it.
man.
I,
Appreciate
th- I think we killed it. I like it. I
yeah.
like I,
appreciate that.
I like
Thank
we had a couple reaches here and there, but we know with the NFL draft, anything is possible. Anything can happen. All it takes is for one team to fall in love with you.
That's
That's it.
what only take one team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And somebody on this show fell in love with a Mecca Ibuka.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just envisioned a Buckeye throwing to them two Buckeyes out there, and hey, we know we're gonna get a great route runner. We know we're gonna get a player with some great hands. We know we're gonna get a player with some great speed, and just to pair him with Garrett and whatever else they throw out there, you're gonna have to watch it on both sides out there.
You have a very good valid point right there when you say that. That just all the way like went over my mind when you made that pick. Even though I love Abuka, I think he could be the best receiver out of the draft. I forgot Justin Fields is there. You
Yeah.
Yeah,
gotta make sure your quarterback is
I'm
comfortable,
trying
man.
hooked up. And then
Gotta make sure he throw the ball, man.
Man, he
he
gonna
gonna
throw
throw.
that. He gonna sling
He
that
gonna
rock.
throw.
He gonna
That
sling it.
nigga don't throw the ball. He don't
He,
throw
Look,
the
dog,
ball up the
hey,
middle.
hey, Paul, you're gonna be mad at how he gonna be out there slinging that ball.
He got to throw it over the middle.
But
He
You
he got
saw,
he
you saw four, you saw 2 years of him slanging that ball. The lane we talking about the long one, not the short one. You
yeah,
saw,
he gun
enough.
shy across that middle, man, because he can't really see that well.
We're gonna see. We're gonna
Yeah,
see how well he can see.
I'm
all
just
right.
glad to see we have a higher belief than what the experts and what they say about Shador Sanders. I like the way we feel about him. Being drafted third, I think that says a lot. And even Cam Ward going first. You know,
Bruh, I
a
seen
lot.
this one. I seen this one dude on ESPN said he gonna fall to the Steelers at 21st. I was like, what?
Yeah, they tripping.
It's
They
He
tripping.
crazy,
get,
man.
I've
they
never
say he
seen
gonna
it.
fall to
Well,
the
you have
Steelers at
seen. Yeah,
21st, bruh.
no.
They picking Jackson Dart before him.
Yeah, that's crazy. And when I had him just because, and I'm like, I wonder how many picks ahead he gonna go. That's plus 16. Well, no, that's plus 18 picks. So he 18 up when it comes to level up sports,
Bro, you
WTP SPORT
can't be
Dudes.
arrogant when you
Thing
talk
here.
to these people, man.
Hey,
Can't be
man.
arrogant when you talk to these people.
it's a job interview, man.
Yeah, you can't
Just
be.
make it sound good.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yes,
You can't be
yes.
arrogant.
I mean, one thing we know for sure about these billionaires, they don't like no assholes and no arrogant people because they will blackball you in a
Yeah,
minute. They don't care how much money you can bring to them. They know it's another guy out there that can do the same
Do the
thing.
same
That
thing.
is
yeah,
not like that,
There'll
man.
never be a Sanders though, and that's how Sanders walk in the building with their head up high, they chin up, and they chest out, and you ain't getting it no other way. And as you can see, all of it is just coming from that. We know he's a great character, young man, tutored by one of the best, and if not the best, in Tom Brady. I mean, has done nothing but change programs. They saw his stats. They saw him throw the ball and all that good stuff. So they just hating on him just because his last name. That's it. And his confidence. Everybody's supposed to be confident about themselves like that. So, and like we say, you just need somebody to fall in love with you.
That's it.
Let's see him fall in love with the double S.
Yeah, I guess since we hood dudes, man, we don't like that. You know what I'm saying? We want you to be, and I get everything you're saying,
I
man.
love
I get everything that you're saying. But at some point, you gotta humble yourself and just grind. Put your head down and just grind.
it. Man,
But
yourself, be you. Walk in there, let them
I
see
mean,
you.
yeah, of course, be you. But I mean,
Bump that,
it
man.
depends on.
Want us to not be ourselves. They want us to act like them. No, we're not gonna act like y'all. We're gonna be us. Be us.
And,
That's what make us. That's what make us special. That's why we special.
and it could
Don't
also
put it.
cost you your draft stock too.
Yeah,
Don't cost- it
and it'll
ain't
be a target on your back.
ain't gonna cost you much. And then we all know where the real money is. It's that next contract. You just gotta go prove yourself. That's it. It's that simple.
Appreciate
And
Tyrone.
it will cost you some money if you don't go in there acting like you're with a good guy.
Appreciate them tuning in as well. Tyrone and Kev. Appreciate y'all
Tiny
for
Bo.
watching what we do, man.
Hey,
It's
bro,
love
bro?
and peace, man. Always.
Yes, sir.
All right, fellas.
Break
Let's
it up,
wrap.
y'all. Let's get ready for the spring game.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. That's all
Indeed.
we do, man. Throw up them W's, man. Appreciate the
And y'all playing
team.
flag football. Everybody playing flag football.
Said they down there playing flag football today.
Everybody playing flag
Ain't
football.
nothing else on the tube.
Yeah. Ain't nobody trying to get hurt.
And I'm about to be hearing that noise from the house. I'm glad I got to go to work today.
All right, it's on the floor, fellas. I love y'all, man.
Always,
All right,
man.
y'all.
Thanks for tuning in
Hey.
to our first
Sports,
annual mock draft.
appreciate
Peace,
y'all.
homie.